extremely original guy. Okay? Here's the original people, the Mike Candreas, the Patrick Murphys. That's why they're winning national championships. What I do is I steal things from those people, because I sit in clinics like you guys and I listen. So I think some of the most intelligent coaches out there can steal things from other coaches. So this number 6, I actually stole this concept, but I seen it work and I bought into it. And it's the concept of making sure that our girls are not loading up on the back leg and then sitting and spinning on the back leg. If you can get an iPad, if you can get a video camera, if you have the capability of filming on your phone, videotape them doing some T work and just look at what their back leg is doing. Because what we have really discovered, and I got this from Thomas Massera, who is the head coach at Valdosta State. They just won the Division II National Championship. They also led the nation in home runs. Before he was at Valdosta, he was at Lynn University. Won the national championship at Lynn. So even though he's not a D1, dude's won 2 national championships, I'm going to listen. And one of the things that he really focuses on is making sure that this back leg you sit, but then you also drive off of. So it's not just big toe to China or rolling up or allowing the back leg to just fall through. We are physically videotaping these kids and breaking it down slow-mo, and you will see their foot start at one point, but then end at another. So how we practice this in practice every day in the gym is they have to put their foot on a line. So when they start, we just say sit and explode. They sit and they explode, and their foot can't be on the line when they're done. Now whether they move this much or they move this much. Our home run leader moves this much. Most of the girls move about that much because they're used to that concept of making sure that they get on their toe, but they don't actually move their back foot. But I'm telling you, and you can talk to some baseball coaches, they actually measure now the amount of drag that back foot actually moves, because the linear phase of hitting is where it is all about nowadays, because the technology of the tools that we're using has changed. Hitting is not just rotational, and it's not just linear. Otherwise, we wouldn't turn this foot. It's both, but we are trying to focus a lot more on the linear phase as it relates to rotation, because making sure that you don't forget rotation, but then we're not satisfied with rotation in one spot, we're pushing linear through. So, the hard part about that is, here's what kids want to do when they first start. They want to stand up, they want to pull their head, they want to lunge. So that's the really hard part that's where video comes in, making sure that it's a fighting stance, that they're here, and they're here. And if you think about throwing a punch, you're going to throw a punch. Look at my back foot. It's the exact same thing as hitting. I'm not going to throw a punch like this. All right, man, come on, let's go. You're not getting anywhere, okay? And hitting is the exact same thing. You get linear through the ball. You load and you explode. So we actually do 2 minutes on the clock every day, and I'm sure it gets mindless after a while, but 2 minutes on the clock every day. All right, ladies, sit, explode, sit, explode. And I just say those 2 words over and over and over, because all they do is sit, making sure that the weight is on the back foot, and then they explode off of that. But we watch the angle of the back, we watch the head, we make sure that the angle of the back does not change drastically, and we make sure the head doesn't pull off drastically. The leg drive weight transfer drill